All right, I want to show you something so that you won't be able to not notice this when it happens in your community. What's wrong with this truck being parked right here? Like, obviously it's a yellow curb, he's got his flashes on, he's not supposed to be parking there. I want you to tell me why he's not supposed to be parking there. So I'm going to explain why, and then I'm going to explain two aspects to the solution to this problem. So this car, up until the moment it gets right here, can't be seen by cars coming this way. This forces them to pull out into the crosswalk in order to see the cars coming. Also, if a pedestrian's walking this way, they're blocked from the field of vision of cars coming this way until the last second. So that's why there's a yellow curb, and why over here, more than just a yellow curb, they actually had these stripes telling people not to park here. This is a design term that's known as daylighting, and any serious city, or any city that has accomplished 0 traffic fatalities for a full calendar year, something known as Vision Zero, has prioritized first and foremost daylighting. But you might be thinking, wait, the curb's painted yellow, the street has white stripes on it, what more could they do? Literally put stuff in the way. Like New York City has put boulders, flower planters, you can bump out the curb. Even right there used to have a bike rack, and those rubber stops kept people from doing it, but cars kept hitting it and the city hasn't replaced it. Now, one of the biggest problems with daylighting is that delivery truck right there. It's this, it'll only be a second sort of mentality. And often, if a crash were to happen at that intersection, they would say something like, the car pulled out in front of traffic, the pedestrian wasn't looking. They wouldn't say there was no clear to field of vision because of that truck. Now, inevitably, when I post about any sort of traffic calming measure or something that makes cities safer, people will bring up and they'll say, well, my dad drives a semi. He always says these things are impossible to navigate. And here's what I think is really important. If you go to places in Europe where they didn't have a chance, or they didn't tear down buildings to widen streets, their delivery and service vehicles are much smaller. It's this concept of scaling vehicles to the size of the city, not sizing the city to the scale of the vehicles. That is to say, if it's tricky for a semi to get around a downtown, perhaps a semi shouldn't be trotting around downtown. And this is one of the major reasons American roads don't last as long, is because we have much heavier vehicles. But you can go to Europe, you can go to Japan. Their stores are stocked with the same thing our stores are stocked with. When you make the dangerous option convenient, you incentivize dangerous behavior. And on the flip side, if the safe option is inconvenient, you're equally incentivizing risky behavior. People will say things like, where's the delivery truck supposed to park? There's all these cars parked here. It seems like the problem is cars and not the unsafe intersection. Oh, what? So a company just supposed to have 2 types of trucks, smaller ones for getting inside of cities and bigger ones for hauling stuff in between cities? Yep, literally yep. And we do it because you don't let semis, for the most part, drive through your neighborhoods. Amazon has to have smaller vehicles. We need to start seeing downtowns for what they are. Someone's neighborhood, and they equally should have the freedom from big trucks driving through, blocking intersections, etc.